Okay, so let's unpack this. We're diving into some really powerful ideas today. They're drawn from a fascinating piece by Dr. Pooyan Ghamari, the Swiss economist and founder of the Ellen platform. His work, Converting Expertise into Authority, Mastering Thought Leadership, it really gets right to the heart of a critical challenge,
Yeah.
something many experts face.
Mm.
You might have deep, valuable knowledge, but, well, how do you ensure that knowledge actually creates influence? How does it make an impact?
Exactly. It's a huge question.
This deep dive, it's essentially a blueprint, right? For moving beyond just having the expertise to
Mhm.
actively uh, wielding authority, becoming that voice that shapes conversations, maybe even outcomes in your field.
Yeah, it's about being heard, truly heard.
And the core idea here, what really jumped out at me from Dr. Gamari's perspective, is that today, with information just everywhere,
It's overwhelming.
right, expertise alone isn't the bottleneck anymore. Information is abundant. The real scarcity, he argues, isn't the knowledge itself. It's that trusted, clear perspective,
Yeah.
something that can, cut through all the noise, distill the complexity.
And actually inspire people, inspire thought or action.
Exactly. It's the difference between, say, being the quiet expert in the corner,
The one with all the answers, but maybe nobody asks.
right, versus being the person whose insights others actively seek out
Mm.
because they trust your judgment, your ability to see things others might miss.
Yeah, true thought leaders, they don't just add more data points. They elevate the whole conversation. They reveal those overlooked connections, perhaps, and create this sort of magnetic pull around their ideas. They're the signal, really, in all that noise.
And importantly, Dr. Gamari argues this isn't just some abstract concept, or about boosting your ego.
You know, I'm definitely not.
He frames thought leadership as public intellectual capital, like a tangible strategic asset for you, for your career.
That's such a powerful way to put it. Public intellectual capital, something you build, you own. And the source outlines some really concrete benefits that come with cultivating this kind of visible authority.
Like what, specifically?
Well, for instance, you naturally start attracting higher quality opportunities, maybe potential partners, because people want to collaborate with voices they respect.
Absolutely. And your own voice just commands more influence, doesn't it? Whether you're in, say, negotiations or internal debates or even public discussions.
You become a go-to person. People seek you out.
Yeah. And this visibility, it builds trust, which Dr. Gamari describes beautifully as an anti-fragile asset.
Anti-fragile. I love that term.
Me too. It's not just resilient. It actually gets stronger under pressure or, in uncertain times.
That really resonates. It's like your reputation becomes more robust than just your day-to-day circumstances. And ultimately, building this authority, it lets you create a lasting legacy, impacting others, maybe shaping the direction of your whole industry.
Okay, so that's the why. It's clearly a valuable asset. How do you actually build it? Dr. Gamari lays out what he calls the wizard action plan. Sounds intriguing.
It does, yeah. It's a 5-step, pretty practical approach to developing that public intellectual capital we talked about.
All right, let's walk through this blueprint then. Where do we even begin? Step 1. It focuses on defining your top 5 non-obvious insights. Why start there? And why specifically non-obvious?
Well, that's key, isn't it? Authority doesn't really come from just repeating what everyone already knows. It comes from bringing a fresh perspective, maybe something counterintuitive or something others overlook, a pattern only you've spotted, perhaps, through your unique experience.
So it's about identifying what you know
Yeah.
that isn't immediately obvious to everyone else in your field.
Exactly, your unique angle.
Okay, but how does someone, uncover these hidden gems within their own experience or expertise? It might not be that easy to see them yourself.
Right. So the idea is you really have to audit your past work and experiences, actively look back, look at projects, successes, even the failures, right? What were the hidden variables? What counterintuitive results did you see? What patterns jumped out that maybe others missed? And you can also get an external perspective. Ask trusted colleagues or clients maybe what insights you offer that they find most surprising or valuable.
That's a good tip.
Then, and this is critical, you need to test those insights. Do they actually resonate when you share them? Do they spark new thinking?
It's about finding those subtle leverage points, those unique angles. The source gives a great example, doesn't it?
Yeah, the real estate one.
Right, in global real estate,
Yeah.
where the biggest hidden variable impacting investment wasn't just, say, market price.
Which everyone focuses on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was the ripple effect of new immigration laws,
Uh-huh.
a regulatory insight that maybe many finance-focused analysts weren't concentrating on?
That's a perfect example of a non-obvious insight, something specific, impactful, and not immediately apparent.
Absolutely. Okay, so step one, identify those unique insights. Now, the next challenge is getting those ideas out there consistently,
Mm-hmm.
which brings us to step two. Dr. Ghamari calls this the engine of building authority, writing and publishing one expert article per week.
Yeah, the engine.
One article a week. I mean, for a lot of people, that sounds incredibly daunting. Is that volume really necessary? Or is it more about the consistent habit?
Well, the source really emphasizes consistency. Calling it the engine implies it creates momentum, right? It builds your reach over time, establishes your reputation as someone who contributes regularly. People get used to hearing from you.
So it's about making public output a regular part of your process, your rhythm.
Exactly. It's the habit.
And how do you make those articles count? Make them impactful.
Focus on actionable insights. That's key. Don't just theorize. Share case studies, maybe lessons learned from cautionary tales or perhaps well-informed forecasts. And, vary your topics. Sometimes drill down into a specific technical thing. Other times take a broader view on a major trend.
Okay, mix it up.
And Dr. Ghamari offers a crucial tip here. Don't wait for perfection. Just publish.
Oh, that's liberating.
It is. Your truly impactful pieces, your sort of greatest hits, they'll emerge over time through this consistent practice, not by waiting for the perfect article.
That definitely takes some pressure off.
Phew. All right, so you're consistently sharing your unique insights through writing. How do you amplify that? Reach beyond your immediate network.
Right. That leads us straight into step three.
Which is?
Reaching out to industry podcasts or webinars for guest spots.
Leveraging other platforms.
Exactly. This is where you start tapping into other people's established audiences. It's an incredibly efficient way to scale your impact and, insert yourself into those public conversations that are already happening where your target audience is actually listening.
Makes sense. How do you approach potential hosts effectively, though? You can't just knock on the door.
No, you need a strategy. Dr. Ghamari suggests first, identifying maybe your top 10 platforms where your ideal audience hangs out. Do your homework. Then when you pitch, lead with one of those provocative, non-obvious insights from step one.
Connect it back.
Yes. Frame it like, here's something nobody's really talking about in your field, or maybe let's discuss the hidden implications of a recent event. Make it intriguing.
Give them a reason to say yes. Precisely. And after an appearance, don't just forget about it. Follow up. Share the links on your social media, maybe write a recap article. As the source notes, every appearance like this, it multiplies your credibility, and it opens doors to new connections, new feedback.
Building connections while sharing knowledge, that's smart leverage. Okay, so we've defined insights, we're writing regularly, getting on other platforms. What's step four?
Step 4 is about staying deeply engaged with the ongoing conversation in your field by curating and commenting on industry news daily.
Daily. Why is that daily commentary so important for building authority?
Because thought leadership isn't just about your own original ideas, right? It's also about helping others make sense of the world around them as it changes. By commenting on news, you're basically guiding your audience through these shifting landscapes. You're offering your expert take on why something matters now.
Okay, so you become an interpreter, a guide.
Exactly.
And how do you actually do this consistently? Daily sounds like a lot again.
It does, but it can be manageable. Use platforms like LinkedIn, maybe Twitter X, or even your own blog. Spotlight relevant news or emerging trends you see. Then add your brief, sharp commentary. Think, here's this news, but here's what's really important about it, or here's why this affects us.
Short and sharp.
Yeah. And maybe tag relevant experts sometimes. Spark a dialogue. Dr. Ghamari calls building this into a daily or, maybe a weekly ritual, a best practice. That consistency itself becomes part of your brand. People learn they can rely on you to help them process what's happening.
You become that signal provider for real-time events in your industry. Okay, that makes sense. So step one, define insights. 2, publish weekly. 3, guest spots. 4, daily curation and commentary. How do you tie this all together? Make it easy for people to see the whole picture of your thinking.
Yeah, that's where step 5 comes in. It's about building a digital portfolio of your best public insights.
Portfolio.
Because influence is cumulative, right? But people need a central place, an easy place to find your most impactful contributions. Otherwise, it gets lost.
So, like a curated collection, your greatest hits, again.
Exactly. Dr. Ghamari suggests keeping it simple. A personal website, maybe, or a dedicated section on your blog, or even just a carefully curated pinned post on LinkedIn could work.
Right.
This portfolio should gather your key articles, links to interviews, maybe speaking appearances, significant commentary threads.
Keep it alive.
Yes, keep it updated, maybe refresh it quarterly, and if possible, include testimonials or perhaps some demonstrable results linked to your insights. The source points out that this portfolio, it becomes both a magnet attracting people looking for your expertise and a kind of memory bank, showing the evolution and the value of your thinking over time.
That makes so much sense. It provides that clear pathway for people to
Yeah.
see why you're the authority.
Mhm.
So following these 5 steps, this is what leads to that ripple effect Dr. Ghamari talks about.
Precisely. When you consistently apply this discipline, you make that shift from just being someone with expertise to someone with authority. And the effects are tangible. Your phone starts ringing, more speaking requests, media opportunities, maybe inbound inquiries for new business.
Mm.
Policymakers, key investors, they might seek out your view before they make big decisions. You start to genuinely shape industry standards, influence where your field is heading.
And Dr. Ghamari also makes a point that the rewards aren't just, commercial.
Absolutely not. They're personal too, and even societal. Building this kind of authority, it lets you mentor at scale, perhaps, leave a significant mark on your community or your industry. And frankly, it helps future-proof your reputation in a world that's changing so fast.
So as this deep dive into Dr. Ghamari's work really shows us transforming expertise into authority, it isn't about waiting for permission, is it?
So waiting
Or
requirement.
having a specific title, or just hoping you get discovered. It's presented here as a very deliberate, step-by-step discipline.
A practice.
It's about consistently sharing your unique perspective, actively engaging with your field in public forums, and making it easy, really, for the right people to find your most valuable insights.
It's that shift from just knowing things to actively shaping the conversation and maybe the future of your industry.
And the source is clear. This potential, it's within reach for pretty much anyone with deep knowledge. It just requires that practice.
It's a practice that, done consistently yields significant returns
Right.
in influence and impact.
So here's maybe the provocative thought for you, the listener, to carry forward from this deep dive today. If thought leadership really is a discipline built through consistent practice, starting small, what is your single, non-obvious insight, that one thing you can share maybe today, maybe this week, to just begin building your authority? What's that first step for you?